election. Meron pong mga LGUs na hindi nakapag-submit noong request for exemption from the ban. And yun po, Mr. Chair.
So, are you saying na nung eleksyon, yung mga senior citizen natin hindi nabigyan ng kanilang social pension dahil election ban? Hindi po nakahingi ng exemption?
Yung mga iba, Mr. Chair, opo.
How many yung iba? Gaano karami po itong hindi nakatanggap na social pension nila? May mahaba-haba po yung ban, ilang buwan po yun. So, meaning to say, ilang buwan silang hindi nakatanggap ng pension nila, Director Gulia?
We will check the records, Mr. Chair. And
I want a list kung ilan ho yung mga hindi nag-submit at ika nga hindi sila nag-apply na para exemption. Hindi ba po dapat kayo na mismo itong nagkukusa sa DSWD na mag-apply ng ika nga exemption sa COMELEC na ito yung mga senior citizen, kailangan nila itong pera na ito. Wag namang natin ipagkait ng 3 months, 4 months that election ban. Aren't you the agency to do that?
We applied for that, Mr. Chair. Pero po kasi, yung po kasing pera po natin for the stock pen, some of it are being transferred to the LGUs. And per COMELEC po, ang sabi po nila, kailangan yung LGU mag-request for the exemption.
Why do we transfer the money to the LGU? Tama nga naman siguro kasi naisip ng COMELEC baka magamit ng LGU yung pera na para sa senior citizen, magamit para sa kampanya. Bakit po natin binibigay dun sa kanila? Especially during campaign season.
This is part of our modality of implementation, Mr. Chair. We have 2 modes. Either number 1, we can disburse it by DSWD, or yung pangalawa po, we do the fund transfer dun sa LGUs.
I totally disagree. Yung transfer sa LGU siguro pinakamaganda, katulad ng mga sa 4-piece, bigyan ng mga ATM yung mga senior citizen na yan para doon na lamang po. Kasi alam naman natin nangyaring milagro, Director Gulia. Pag yan binaba mo yung pondo na yan sa mga LGU, baka hindi na matanggap ni lolo no lola, lalo na makalimutin na ang karamihang senior citizen natin. Nakalimutan niya na payout niya na pala ngayong araw, abay madidelay. Sir, next time I would ask you or direct DSWD, kayo na po ang magkusa pag during elections, applyan niyo na po ng exemption sa ban itong mga ganito social pension. Kailangan po nila. Pangalawa po, pag-aralan ho natin, I don't know kung may proposals kayo, I want a proposal from you guys na iwasan na po natin ibaba yung social pension sa mga LGU. Alam naman ho natin ang nangyayari. Hindi naman nila lahat, pero nangyayari po yan. Baka magastos lalo pat eleksyon, Jesus Mariosep. Baka magastos po yung pensyon kakaunti na pensyon ni Lolo Lola, magasta pa, pambili ng boto. Diyos ko po naman. Next time po siguro, you have to come up with something, give us something dito sa committee, next hearing po natin. Ano po? Avoid na ibaba po yung mga pension sa mga LGUs. Pangalawa po, humingi po kayo nang humingi ng exemption during elections para sa social pension. Director Gulia. All right, proceed.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Senator.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. Follow-up ko lang ulit yung nire-raise din namin mga tanong kanina ni Mr. Chair tungkol halimbawa sa waitlisting, pati po sa exclusion, yung administration nito in general. Maraming senior citizens kasi po ang nagre-reklamo sa aming opisina na nagsasabi sila dumadaan, natatapos na nga yung validation, pero umaabot ng taon bago pa kahit may feedback man lang dun sa kanilang application. So, paano po ini-intend ng DSWD i-resolve po yan? Would it be Director Gulia or si Yusek Alia po, Mr. Chair, na sumagot?
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, the only resolution to that is really to increase the funding because we're limited due to the funding. That's our only limitation. Otherwise, if there was enough funding, then we would be able to accommodate those who are in the wait list.
Oh, I appreciate that, Yusek, Mr. Chair. Bagamat kahit ngayon sa limitado pang funding, minsan at the very least ang obligasyon natin sa gobyerno, sa mga constituents ng department ay at least bigyan ng agad at timely at regular feedback at updating po. Kasi nga dumadaan sila sa required process ng application, pero yung loop ng information, feedback at action pabalik sa kanila parang nabibitin at tumatagal. Kaya nga nakakalokang isipin na minsan umaabot ng taon bago man lang may feedback, Mr. Chair, hindi pa nga yung actual na pensyon. And pangalawa, Mr. Chair, napag-uusapan din kasi yung LGUs. Ang mga LGUs sa pamamagitan ng mga OSCA, identified nila yung indigent senior, so isa sa pina-prioritize ng department. Pero sabi nila, less than 10% lang halos ang naisasama ng DSWD. Actually, nabubugbog yung mga OSCA kapapaliwanag sa mga senior citizen na constituents nila kung ano na ang nangyari. Bakit 9 out of 10 na pinapaprocess nila sa DSWD ay hindi naisasama. So, may monitoring po ba ang DSWD at paano pabilisin po itong proseso ng exclusion saka waitlisting?
I can refer to Director Gula with more detailed, I guess, plans of the senior pension. However, I'd like to just provide information that the DSWD is trying to digitize everything, including payments. We've had some consultations with some senior citizens. There's a bit of a pushback regarding some digital payments. They really mas prefer nila yung physical. So it's a matter, I think, of educating of how it would be better for them to receive digital payments, so it would go direct to them. It's just a matter of an awareness campaign and an acceptance from the part of our beneficiaries that we're working on. And regarding the information po, we're planning to digitize everything. That's really where DSWD is going, and we'll continue to provide updates to the committee and Mr. Chair, the Honorable Chairperson, on how that's going.
I would appreciate that, Yusek, Mr. Chair, kung i-update nyo nga yung komite, lalo na yung chair, para makarating sa lahat ng miyembro. But even digitizing, na yun naman talaga yung wave ng lahat ng government departments. Pero siguro yung tamang kombinasyon pa rin at balanse ng human touch. Tulad ng isang concern kanina na yung feedback man lang. So it may be through a digital feedback, pero pwede rin at tingin ko dapat samahan pa rin ng human na feedback, no? Lalo na kung dadaan sa nakakainip na proseso ng waitlisting at masakit na proseso ng exclusion na hindi lang makatanggap ng digital notice or digital explanation, pero may human touch pa rin. After all, you are the Department of Social Welfare and Development, not just digital welfare and development. And lastly, for now, Mr. Chair, kung kahit digital o cash ang ibigay, ano po yung, napag-uusapan na rin, pero anything that you would like to add in terms of current payout rates ng mga pension? Kumusta po yung utilization rate? Nakaka 100% po ba ang department?
Dr. Golias, can you show the slide on utilization and proceed with your presentation as well?
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Next slide, please. Thank you, Mr. Chair. As of July 31, 2025, yung pong ating status for the obligation is already at 77.88%, Mr. Chair. Actually po mataas na po siya in comparison last year. And we really target to have this fully obligated before mag-end po ng taon. Next slide.
Salamat, Mr. Chair at Director. So I guess from 77%, which is passing, syempre tinatarget po ng department makalapit or makaabot sa 100%.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually po, we target to obligate that by October. Mabuo na po yung obligation natin for the entire funds.
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Now, Mr. Chair, for the last slide, I'd like to show you po the proceeds of the stipend. We would like to highlight here na since the pension is the target of which is para sa pagkain, food, medicine, or medical checkup, we are monitoring yung paggamit po ng funds, and we would like to highlight here na mataas po talaga yung paggamit nung stipend for food, medicine, and medical checkup. Of which yung na survey po natin na 2.5 million, 1.2 million doon na nagsabi that they use multiple usage of the stipend for food, medicine, and checkup. And the second is food and medicine, a combination of which. And yung pangatlo po ay for food. I think that's all for our presentation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Director Gulia. Now let's hear from the Department of Finance. You here? DOF? I'm sorry, DBM. You here? Okay, please proceed with your presentation.
Thank you po, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Today po, I will be presenting the financial aspect of the implementation of the social pension program, including po the historical data of the current existing program, which is the social pension for indigent senior citizen, and the fiscal impact and or budgetary requirement of the legislative measure being proposed po. So the outline of the presentation po is as follows: the budget appropriation through the years, the financial and physical performance of the program, the 2026 proposed budget for the program, and the fiscal impact of the proposed legislation. Next slide po. So just to provide po the initial background, ito po yung primary legal basis under which the provision for the monthly stipend of the indigent senior citizens is anchored po. We all know naman po the RA 7432, the RA 9994, which provides for the 500 peso stipend for the senior citizen. And lastly po is the RA 11916, which increase or double the stipend from 500 to 1,000. Next slide po. This slide po presents the annual appropriation for the social pension for indigent senior citizens program from 2011 until 2026 NEP. So, as shown po on the screen, from the 2011 to 2014, only ages 77 years old and above po yung kasama sa social pension. In 2015, we decreased the age to 65 years old, and starting 2016 po, until today, we are providing na po for ages 60 years old and above. The increase po in appropriations beginning 2024 is attributed to the enactment of RA 11916, which doubled nga po the monthly social pension from 500 to 1,000. Next slide po. This slide po shows the financial and physical performance of the program from 2019 to the present. As of we have the data only as of June 30, 2025. Over the past 6 years po, the program has recorded average obligation and disbursement rates of 98.29% and 94.55% respectively. Next slide po.
Yeah, and Karin, I'm sorry, Director Zuniga. Okay. Balik ko kayo. 2025 allotment 48 million, di po ba?
Yes,
And
sir.
then obligation 36 million. Bakit pababa ng pababa? Disbursement 33 million. Paliit ho ng paliit. What is happening here? Ano hong reasons nito? Bakit ho ganun?
Mr. Chair, for the 2025 it is as of June only. The rest po is annual.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Before you proceed, Director Zuniga, we would like to acknowledge the presence, or I'm sorry, would like to insert his opening statement into the records. Senator Mark Villar, yes. Thank you. May proceed.
Next slide po. So for the 2026 budget proposal, budget for 2026, these are the factors considered in evaluating the 2026 proposals of agencies. May we note po that we have received around 10.101 trillion in budget proposals for FY 2026. However, po recognizing our limited fiscal space and bearing the budget deficit in mind, we carefully evaluated all submissions against the following criteria. First po is the alignment with the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. Then the shovel readiness, which means they are backed by completed documents and other requirements to ensure timely implementation. We also restrict